Diamond Solitaire by Peter Lovesey. Narrated by Simon Prebble. Disc 1.
Chapter 1. An alert shattered the silence in Harrods, a piercing, continuous note. The guard on duty in the security control room, Lionel Kenton, drew himself up in his chair. His hands went to his neck and tightened the knot in his tie. On the control panel in front of him, one of the light-emitting diodes, a red one, was blinking. If the system was functioning properly, someone or something had triggered a sensor on the 7th floor. He pressed a control that triggered the video surveillance for that floor. Nothing moved on the monitors. Kenton was the senior security guard that night. He was so senior that he had a shelf above the radiator for his exclusive use. On it were framed photos of his wife, 2 daughters, the Pope, and Catherine Deneuve, an ebony elephant, and a cassette rack of opera tapes. Puccini kept him alert through the night. He told anyone so philistine as to question opera in the control room. None shall sleep. Listening to music was more responsible than reading a paper or a paperback. His eyes were alert to anything on the panel, and his ears to any sound that clashed with the music. He silenced Pavarotti and touched the button that gave him a direct line to Knightsbridge police station. They must already have received the alert electronically. He identified himself and said, "Intruder alert. I'm getting a signal from the 7th floor. Furniture, section 9. Nothing on screen." "Message received 22:47 hours. "Someone is coming?" "It's automatic." Of course it was. He was betraying some nervousness. He tried another survey of the 7th floor. Nothing untoward was visible, but then he hadn't much faith in video surveillance. Every terrorist knows to keep out of range of a camera, and he had to assume this was a terrorist. 22 night security officers were posted in various parts of the store. He put out a general alert and asked for a second check that all the elevators were switched off. The security doors between sections were already in position, and had been since the cleaners left. In the business of counter-terrorism, nothing can be taken for granted. But really, it wasn't feasible to break into Harrods. The intruder, if one was up there, must have hidden when the store closed and remained out of sight. If so, someone's job was on the line. Someone who should have checked Section 9. You weren't allowed one mistake in this line of work. His second-in-command that night, George Bullen, burst in. He'd been patrolling when the alert sounded. "Where's it from?" "7th. It bloody would be." The furniture department was high risk, a brute to patrol. Wardrobes, cupboards, chests of drawers, and units of every description. The nightly check for devices was a wearisome chore. It was conceivable, but in no way excusable, that the guard on duty had been so bogged down opening cupboards and peering into drawers that he'd missed someone lurking out of sight behind the damn things. Another light flashed on the console, and one of the monitors showed headlights entering the delivery bay. The police response couldn't be faulted. Kenton told Bullen to take over and went down to meet them. 3 patrol cars and 2 vans already, marksmen and dog handlers climbing out. More cars arriving, their flashing alarms giving an eerie blue luminosity to the delivery bay. Kenton felt a flutter in his bowels. The police weren't going to vote him Security Man of the Year if this emergency had been triggered by a blip in the system. A plainclothes officer stepped out of a car and ran across to him. "You're Kenton, senior man?" He nodded. "You put out the call?" He admitted it, and his stomach lurched. "7th floor, a furniture department. Points of access. 2 sets of stairs." "Only 2? The section is sealed off by security doors." "No lifts?" "Switched off." "Any of your lads on the stairs?" "Well, yes, that's routine. They'll be guarding the stairways above and below level 7. "Lead the way, then." 30 or more uniformed officers, dog handlers, and men in plain clothes, several carrying guns, came with him as he set off at a run through the ground floor to the first stairway. A squad of a dozen or so peeled off and raced up that staircase while he led the remainder to the next. Mounting 7 floors was a fitness test.